Greetings, everyone. I hope you all are having a good night or a day wherever you are. I'm a little tired just because of all the mental exhaustion, in thinking of my impending future surgery. So, wanted to talk tonight about self-absorption. And yes, absolutely, it can be related to narcissism. I think any person that is completely self-absorbed, doesn't care about other people, is mean to other people, is a bully. I think all of those types of self-absorption behaviors scream narcissism. But it's like that old saying, tomato, tomato, right? Abuse is abuse, manipulation is manipulation, a bully is a bully, a manipulator is a manipulator. Someone who has self-absorption, call it like you see it, right? We've all been around people like this, and they will just suck the energy right out of you. We've all dealt with it. And if you're smart, you get to a point where you just don't deal with it anymore, My favorite is no contact, but, I'm a little, like I've been telling you guys, I'm a little different than other people. I'm a lot different. Self-absorption it's always about them. You could be talking about a football game, and the person will bring the conversation back to themselves. You could be talking to someone about how you need to get a root canal, your tooth is throbbing, you're really in pain, and with no regard to what you're going through, they're going to start talking about 10 years ago they had a root canal and how it went for them. And they'll never ask you, have you made your appointment yet? What kind of painkiller do you have? Do you want some clove oil? Whatever it is. It's really, truly exhausting to be around people like this. We've all dealt with it. They're really, honestly, no fun to be around. It doesn't matter what's going on. Let's say you're in your 30s, you're out with your girlfriends, and you're clothes shopping, which can be fun sometimes. I haven't done that in a long time. But inevitably, the conversation is going to revolve around this one person. Nobody else is going to get a chance to look for clothing that they want. Let's say two of the ladies want to go to this specific coffee shop. We're not going to go there because Miss Self-Absorption has to go to this special tea shop that she loves. And she'll throw a fit until she gets her way. Because it's always about her. The world literally could be coming to an end. And the conversation will always go back to her. And it's what I've noticed with these kinds of people, whether they're a man or a woman, it's always really superficial. It's really superficial. Like, I'm thinking of a few women that I knew, and it was always about their appearance. Don't get me wrong, I like to look good too. I'm a woman. But the problem with self-absorption and a woman who is like this is that's all they've got. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. I'm trying to think of that movie I watched years ago. Oh, I can't think of it. It was these young women, fairly wealthy. It was a comedy, so it was kind of cute, but it was all about the superficialness, like what we're going to wear, you know, what are we going to do at the prom, or, you know, does this guy like me? You just really, they ain't got much. That's it. That's all that's there. Self-absorption can come in so many forms. I mean, it can be somewhat simple. It's like maybe you're going through a hard time, and the conversation, whether it's by text message or phone or in person, they'll never ask you how you're doing. You know why? They don't care. They don't care. And manipulation and self-absorption go hand in hand, by the way. They're two birds in the same family. People that are completely self-absorbed and don't care about other people, they internally don't feel good about themselves. So they have to create this false narrative about how smart they are, how beautiful they are, how they are their mother's favorite, or how they went to the hairdresser and the hairdresser was telling them what beautiful hair they had. It's always over the top. Anyone that acts like that, internally they don't feel good inside about themselves. Period. And like I said, they just suck the energy out of the room. Let's say you're having a really good day, got up early, you did your workout, your yoga or your walk. It's a little sunny out, it's kind of nice. You know, you're right on schedule with doing the things that you want to get done that day. And then Miss Self-Absorption stops by and she dumps all over you about this big fight she had with her boyfriend and why can't he understand her and he just doesn't understand and all this stuff. And you've been kind of distancing yourself from Miss Self-Absorption, but not 100% yet. And so internally, you know why her boyfriend's just sick of her. Because nobody can really be around these kind of folks for too long. It's just draining. I guess self-absorption folks could be called energy vampires too, but I'm trying to not get all out into left field here. That gets a little complicated. I also think self-absorption can show up by one-upping people. Because let's say you're 30-something-year-old women, you're out, you're having a little brunch, you're having a good time, and you're telling one of your friends, you're like, oh, I found this really great athletic club They have the most amazing pool, and the pool is just the perfect temperature, and I'm just having a blast. And the staff are nice, and they always have clean towels. And then Miss Self-Absorption is going to jump in and say how, oh, well, that can't be like our health club. And she's talking about her and her husband. Our health club was voted #1 by, Vachenda magazine last year. And we've been going there for 10 years, and we couldn't be happier. We get discounts on personal training, and I can drop my kids off at the daycare. And then there's a restaurant on the side of the building next door, and we have drinks there sometimes. And the next thing you know, the conversation has been hijacked, and it's all about her and her husband and how their health club is like the best in the world. It's like better than the lady who was talking about the new club she found. They cannot stand not being the center of attention. And they'll take negative attention and they'll take positive. As long as people are talking about them, they're happy. And there's all different types. All different types. I've known women that are very self-absorbed. Well, they are self-absorbed. And not only will they dress, how do I say this? And I'm no prude, you guys. But they will dress very provocative in the wrong situations. Like at church. Yeah, I remember when that happened. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. They're so desperate to have attention at all times, and they'll do anything to get it. They'll walk into a Catholic church with their boobs hanging out. This happened to me. I can't say who it was, but it was freaking embarrassing. It's a lot of times too, it's inappropriate. It's like, it doesn't fit the scenario. Like, going into church half dressed. Yeah, the self-absorption can come out in so many ways. I really believe the self-absorbed hijack conversations all the time. And the ones that are very finessed at doing this, you'll kind of think that it's an honor that they took over the conversation. And you sort of won't even notice that it was a hijack. It's weird. I've had this happen to me. But it's always about them. It's always about them. If they talk about other people, it's going to be framed as to what type of, how do I say this? It's going to be framed as what type of narcissistic supply they can get from that person. Oh, Janet. She's my friend. She's going to come over and clean my house next week. You see what I mean? Or say you're with your girlfriends. Let's say there's like 5 of you. And it's a beautiful summer day. And you went to this nice little cafe that you like to go to. You're drinking mimosas. And you mention that you found this new lipstick that you just love. It's like a mixture between red and pink. It's like this kind of like a cherry pink, but it just looks perfect on your skin. And then Miss Perfect is going to say, well, you know, last week I read this article about brand X lipstick, and people are suing them because there were toxins found in the lipstick. And it doesn't have to be about toxins. It can just be anything. You know what I mean? So now that was like a kind of a fun moment for you. You're sharing with your girlfriends. You found this specific lipstick that you love, and it looks just perfect on you. It's just like the perfect formula, like the texture. And she had to just throw a wrench in it, like mess it up. Oh, you know what's a really good example here? And I'm just going to pick on women right now. A really good example would be a woman who's getting married. And let's just say this woman, she's just like you and I, you know, really cool, just nice person. And she's so excited to be marrying the love of her life. And her friend is jealous. So because her friend is superficial and materialistic and has nothing between the ears, next thing you know, she's getting married to this simp that, you know, fell into her little plot. And chances are it'll break up before they get married, and it'll be a big drama. But it's to take attention away from the happy girl that is getting married for love, you see. I would say a lot of men that are self-absorbed, well, everything they do is based off insecurity, which is same for women. And they are out to show other people's, and usually other men's, inadequacies or what they're doing wrong, because inside they feel inadequate. So in order to feel better than and superior to other people, they have to point out other people's inadequacies. And usually it's a completely made-up lie. It's fictitious. Like, I have seen more narcissistic type men like this try to act like they're more athletic. Sometimes they're not more athletic. It's just a big show. That's just one thing that a more alpha male might do. But it's just, when you're around them, it's just like people just get so sick of it because it's always about them. It's like, if you've ever been around a 2-year-old, you guys know how that is. And, you know, 2-year-olds, they're cute depending on how they're being raised or brought up. And it's just kind of like a natural thing for a toddler to want a lot of attention. And if they're getting a lot of love and kindness and playing with other kids and their parents, they're usually, you know, they're not over the top. But a lot of more narcissistic, self-absorbed people are exactly like toddlers. And they're like naughty toddlers, you know what I mean? Like toddlers that misbehave because maybe things at home are a little screwed up or whatever. But it's more like demanding attention. You will pay attention to me. You know what I mean? And the sad part about it with these self-absorbed types is that they never get discipline. They don't get real discipline. I mean, a grown adult shouldn't have to get disciplined. You know what I mean? But for whatever reasons, emotionally, they did not mature like a more healthy child would. You know what I mean? They didn't hit those different stages of development. Now I'm talking more about like the narcissistic type people. That's what I'm talking about. Because it's, in the end, it's all about a manipulation. And I've learned at this point in my life that I don't even want to warn people about con artists anymore. I don't care. I really feel like a lot of people deserve to be conned, to be honest. You know, it's just like when I started learning about a lot of things that were going on through the world, like the evil, what the evil does, I wanted to tell everyone. I don't care anymore. I mean, I'll talk with people about certain things, especially young people if they're interested. But it's not my job. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you got a manipulative con artist, a self-absorbed asshole that's ripping people off, taking their money, you know, using them for sex or their apartment or material things, whatever it is. I'm sorry, if you're that fucking dumb, you deserve to be conned. I know it's kind of cold-hearted to say that, but I've just gotten to a point in my life that I am just done trying to help certain people. Why do you guys think I don't do social work anymore? It's not that I will never help people, but I'm talking about these narcissistic, controlling manipulators. That's who I'm talking about. And it's not my job to... If people are that ignorant and have no street smarts, no common sense, that they're getting conned, let them get conned. It's not my job to save them. It's not. It shouldn't be yours either. You know? So, I think this is about it for the self-absorption. Just wanted to touch on that. I've got another Scientology article I'm going to read today. I've just been tired, so I'm not going to overdo it today. So that's it, you guys. You have a wonderful night or day wherever you are. Peace.